young women, probably in their 30s, very cute, and they, excuse me, can we talk to you? And they have this little setup. I said, oh, sure, what do you know? Have you given your life to Jesus yet? And I said, oh.
What, down here?
Yeah. And I said, oh, are you guys trying to proselytize? And she said, yeah. And I said, well, I said, you're looking at a lost cause.
Yeah.
I'm
60, to my friend.
Yeah, I'm 63. I'm a hopeless sinner. I said I'm actually not a sinner. I just am, I'm a hopeless agnostic. Oh, it's okay. You can still be saved. Jesus loves you. I said, oh, I know He does. But for today, let's just call it a push.
It's hard, because they mean well.
Oh, sure. They're very sweet.
I'm not sure if that's the. I mean,
I don't know. It's a very personal thing, when you push that on people out in the open. I mean, it doesn't bother me. I'm perfectly happy to engage them in it, but
at least they didn't go, sinner, you're going,
murder,
yeah,
murder. You hear about the woman who refused to issue marriage license. She got sent to jail.
Oh.
Yeah, well,
yeah, it's funny because it's funny because I definitely
in real estate.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm me conservative and all that stuff.
Right.
But I kind of look at it.
You and I should do a show, by the way. You can take the conservative point, and I can take the liberal point. We're gonna have a great time because we'll argue, but we respect each other's opinions.
That's it. Yeah.
The problem with a lot of liberal and conservatives is they scream and yell at each other. I watch it on Facebook, and it's like, guys, you're acting like a bunch of children.
Yeah.
But that's what our Congress is doing.
True.
That's what our president and our Congress are doing to each other. John Boehner is like, and Obama's like, no, nothing's getting done. Meanwhile, Rome is burning. Thank God the stock market is still looking good, though.
Yeah, but it went up a little bit today.
Went up a little today. Yeah. We've got our investments in some very conservative things, so they haven't taken a big hit. So we're in good shape.
Just a little hit.
Just a little. little. Just a little.
Okay, so let's.
Too bad about the Giants. I was so bummed last night watching that game. Marlon Bird's up there. I'm thinking, Marlon, you're going to come through. Strike three. Kershaw is just too good.
Yeah.
It's like he pitched the game of his life. 15 strikeouts.
Let me ask you something about this. Okay. If you notice,
right,
guys leading off from first base,
right, twice picked off yesterday.
Okay, so here's my question on that: why, when they dive back, why don't they dive back with their left hand?
Yeah, you got me. That's a question I've asked myself many times. Why don't they dive
if you're right or left-handed? It's much less hard. It's harder to tag.
Or how about the play last night where Adrianza tags Turner in the helmet. The helmet is off, and he misses the tag.
Yes.
That's a guy about 5 feet, and then he later scores a go-ahead run.
Yeah.
Giants just got no breaks in that series. Yep. That was awful series, and they lost every game 2-1.
Yeah, and the called third strike against Belt.
Oh, that was awful.
Oh.
I know that what's his face, the guy, the crew chief, has got it out for Bochy, kicked him out twice. You don't kick Bruce Bochy out twice because he never uses foul language. I think he just doesn't like him.
I know for
Must be some kind of history between those two. Got to be going back a number of years.
The thing is,
you got to put that. If you're an umpire, you got to put that aside.
Otherwise, you ain't a good umpire.
No, you're not.
You're supposed to be.
The managers, if they want to have a red ash for an umpire, it's their right. But an umpire has to take. That's not their job to get involved in that. Anyway,
no, that's true.
Just my humble opinion, for what it's worth.
And I've got two things here for you. One would be a Burge on the Vineyard. I don't know if you.
A Burge on the Vineyard.
A Burge on the Vineyard.
Like a bed and breakfast?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one I think is in Cloverdale. I'm not sure.
Cloverdale.
And the other one is Meritage Resort and Spa.
Where's that?
I'm trying to remember now. I'd have to look it up. Napa. It's somewhere in Napa.
Okay. Glenn loves those things.
Okay.
She had such a good time at especially the Grape Leaf. I really like that place.
Good.
I'd go to that place again in a heartbeat.
All right.
And the other place was really nice. The other place reminded me of something like back in the 1920s.
The Sens,
that Carol Lombard and Clark Gable used to hang out there whenever they'd come to Calistoga. Back in the day. Back in the day.
All right. So we're gonna do our opening. Then we do segment 2 and 3, which will take us 25 minutes.
So we'll have Andy on for like one segment? Long segment or 2 long segments?
Well, if we're going to call them at
3:45 or 3:30.
3:30, then we've got only.
And you've got your show to do at 4, right? Yeah. So that's all right. Well, we'll squeeze it.
I mean, if he can come,
he's fine with that.
Came up at 3. Then
he's fine with that. He's fine with that.
All right. So, what would you like to talk about between now and then?
I think the NFL season would be kind of fun to get into. It's coming up in a week. Talk about the stretch drive of baseball. This whole nonsense about Tom Brady and Deflategate.
Yeah,
what a non-story that is.
I
And Roger Goodell, how does Roger Goodell keep his job?
I don't.
You know, he's getting paid.
I know.
What does he get paid? $30 million a year, and he's horrible.
Yeah.
Pete Rozelle would be rolling in his grave if he could see what his. Even
Giamatti.
No, who is the guy that preceded Goodell? Tagliabue was even better than this guy. He's a joke. And I'm going to say it right here on Ed Brown's show.
Sports Econ 101.
There we go. Sports Econ 101.
All right, so we'll do our little.
So you having problems with your phone? It looks kind of jerry-rigged, right? As it is anyway. Maybe you know what? Okay. You know what you probably need is just a new
mic?
Not a mic, but the little mic connector. That's probably what short.
This I've tried a couple different ones.
Oh, okay. I'd get you. I have one at home if you want me to bring it next time and try it out. What do you got to use?
Last time it was okay. We'll see how it turns on with it. But the reason I've got it here is so that when you're talking, he can hear you easier.
Oh, okay.
Remember when I used to have it over here?
Yeah. Hey, quick question. When people say when they're emailing you or saying things and they say something like, and they say MEH, what is that supposed to mean? Is that some acronym for some word? Meh. What does that mean? I keep seeing people say that on
like what Facebook or something.
Yeah.
Just kind of,
I mean, LOL means I don't laugh out loud, and ha 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 means that's funny. But what is meh?
I think it's just like
Yeah. Okay.
It's just, I think that's what.
I always put, whenever I disagree with somebody, I always put "jeez" in big letters with 4 exclamation points. I have this friend of mine. We're both extremists. You know, he's to the left and I'm to the right. We have these long discussions.
It's just the opposite.
Yeah, and just totally amuse our friends. The left wingers all back me, the right wingers back him. We get, and then I said to Todd, when we're finished, I'll say, "Look what we did, Todd. We just started a whole shitstorm here." God Almighty. Just like a little steam shovel of America. Good. We are a feisty people, though, aren't we? We really are.
We're people?
Yeah, we're feisty. We like to fight. We like to mix it up. I think that's why I like sports so much. People like the conflict. You know, they like.
Well, it's like it's a competition, like to try to convince you that I'm right.
Yeah, but it's more than that. It's like I think America. I've noticed that with our movies lately, there's so much violence. We love it. We love this. I don't know. The violence thing kind of disturbs me. In football, I understand it, but showing graphic shots of people being blown up. What's the purpose of that? What is that? What purpose does that serve?
You start off with one end, you gotta get a little bit more, and it's not satisfying. I mean, it's like with me, we're watching like movies nowadays. You know, they go fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Right? I try to show her a couple of movies, like here, The Firm with Tom Cruise. Great movie.
Yeah, great movie. She thought it was boring.
Too slow.
Oh, and I saw the Casablanca the other night with my daughter. Now, my daughter liked it, but her friend was watching. Went, "Oh, this is boring." Casablanca. Yeah. That's the best picture of 1940. Of course, it doesn't move like they actually hold a shot and zoom in on the face of the actor. It's like they're acting. Oh my God, what is that?
And their faces are getting blown off.
Yeah, they want to see all these bells and whistles. They don't care about acting. They don't care about plot.
Exactly.
We should do a show about mass media. We'd have a fun time with that.
We would.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Welcome to Sports Econ 101. This is the show where we discuss sports topics from a business perspective. I'm your host, Edward Brown, along with my co-host, Bruce McGowan, longtime sports radio personality. Today's show is going to be kind of fun because who's our guest going to come on in a couple of segments?
Well, we're going to have Andy Dolich, a former front office guy who worked with the A's, the Warriors of the NBA, the 49ers of the NFL. He's worked with the Memphis Grizzlies, the NBA. So he's moved around a lot. He knows a lot about pro sports.
Okay.
Yeah, and from the business standpoint.
Did he get traded for a first-round draft choice?
No, Andy's one of these guys. You'll find out when we talk to him. He's a little bit feisty, and I think that ticks off some of the guys up in the front office. But they just can't handle him sometimes because he's just a little too strong-willed. But I like him. I think he's great.
But does he earn their respect?
He does. But the unfortunate thing is today, most of these owners, they want people that are going to just do their bidding for them, and they don't want creative people. Yeah, yes men. That's why Roger Goodell's in office. He's a yes man for the owners.
Oh yeah, and of course we'll get into a little Deflategate. Just hit the news.
Tempest in a teapot.
Well, I haven't heard that term in a long time.
Much ado about nothing. Yeah, exactly. Come on.
Okay, we'll talk a little bit about football. Get down also to the wire here, coming for the baseball season.
Yes, stretch drive is coming up. Unfortunately, our local teams are not doing well, but that's, a lot of the people listening may have teams that are in the game with a lot of skin there, so they're probably feeling pretty good.
Pretty good. Okay. So each commercial break, we're going to ask a trivia question. And
what's today's theme?
Today's theme is weird sports trivia.
Ooh, I like it.
Kind of fun. Yeah,
That sounds
we kind of mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And the vacations, we're going to give away to the first email with the correct answer. The vacations are not sponsored by the radio station, but by Lighthouse Resort and Marina. Their website, check them out, lighthouseresortandmarina.com. Now, this segment of Sports Econ 101 is sponsored by Pacific Private Money, providing mortgage investments that are currently yielding, ready, over 8%. They just came out, 8.15%. And the mortgages in there are less than 60% loan value on average. All right, check them out.
Doesn't get any more conservative.
It doesn't get any more conservative.
And I should know.
Check them out at pacificprivatemoney.com. Stay with us. You're listening to Sports Econ 101. We will be right back. All right. That's our first little segment.
See, the shot that Vernon had on Facebook today was pretty funny. Had a shot of him with his lab was draped across his neck, the big muzzle right here. And Vernon says, I seem to have picked up some kind of furry, what do you call it? Like a
fur collar? No.
Not a fur collar, but a fur, when you have like a growth on your body.
Oh.
Says, I seem to have picked up some kind of furry growth. He's funny. Between his wife, has he got 3 boys?
Yeah.
3 boys and that dog. He's running ragged. I always worry about him. I always worry about him when we left here. I used to give him a ride home once in a while because he would be taking the bus up here.
Well, and
it's ridiculous.
About
you know why? Because he's too nice a guy. Too nice a guy.
Yeah.
People take advantage of nice guys.
Well, I tried to get him to buy a scooter.
Yeah, there you
go. He talked
go.
to the wife, and
she's not for it.
She
runs his life. I told Vernon, I said, you can't let your wife run your life. She has to feel like she's running it, but don't let her actually run it. That is the key to a happy marriage. Make her think that she's running your life.
Okay.
And she'll be happy, and you'll be happy because she actually won't be.
All
you have to do is do this when you don't like what she's saying. Yes, and look right in her eyes and go, yes.
I understand. Yes.
My wife told me
do
that.
what you want.
She said.
She's the one who told you that?
She told me that. She goes, that's all I want to hear from you. You don't need to agree with me. Just say I'm listening. Just show me that you're listening and look at my eyes. And that's all you have to do. So you don't have to agree with me.
Okay, I got to try that tonight.
Yeah, try it with Eva. Some women though don't like that. They look through it and they go, you're being duplicitous. Yeah, my wife is not that way. Although she said this whole thing with my back this week, she thinks it's karma because I had been real slow moving all the boxes, She says this is karma. And I said, well, if I was faster moving the boxes, I would have had this thing happen earlier. Jeez. Yeah, this has been an absolute mess this week. Not only are we not getting our house sold right away because some of the materials to fix the windows is on back order, won't be ready for 5 weeks. But now my back, I can't move anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I can get up and drive and get to bed, but I can't pick things up. So,
do you need some help?
Do I need some help? I'm just going to have to tough it out and go. Wait till it's gone. I took 3 ibuprofen this morning. I took 3 more this afternoon. I got up and walked around and put ice on it. It's hurting, but it's not terrible. I mean, you can walk around with it, but it's once in a while you'll take a wrong step. You go like that. It's just like I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
And pinched nerves take about 2 weeks to get back
to
normal.
Is that what it takes?
Yeah. Or either that, or it's probably a pinched nerve. Probably what it is from picking up too many boxes. Should have known.
Yeah, I can have that with Sarah. I was helping.
Oh, there you go.
Stuff up there. Yeah.
Sucks getting old, man. It sucks.
All right. We're going to cover first.
Let's talk some NFL.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Bruce McGowan. Bruce, let's talk a little football.
I'm really looking forward to the upcoming season. It'll be interesting to see. I read a really good piece of it. I don't know if you saw it in Sports Illustrated about Pete Carroll and how he handled that decision to go for the touchdown with a pass, and it backfired. He threw the interception. They lost. And he handled it so well. And not only did he not try to run away from it, but he talked to so many different experts to get their opinion on how he should handle, just the communication. I mean, he's always been one of these guys who's always sort of thought outside the box.
Yeah.
And I think for that reason, not that reason alone, but that's one of the big reasons why they've been so successful, because he brings in all of the resources that he can, and the players appreciate that, and they go to war for a guy like that. Now you get a coach who's not that way, players pick up on that pretty quickly, who's not invested in them and not invested in the future, and those guys don't last very long. But Pete Carroll is a guy who's going to be around for a long time.
Yeah, it seems like the players really like him.
Well, he's a likable guy. I went to high school with him, and he was one of these guys. I didn't know him real well in high school, but he was a great athlete, and the coaches loved him because he was a leader. And the guys he played with liked him because he was very inclusive, and he always was interested in them. And the thing about Pete Carroll that is really amazing to me, and I've only talked to him a handful of times, but you talk to him privately, just without a lot of the media around, and he starts asking and wanting to talk about things that are totally unrelated to football, and he'd like to get your opinion. And it's just such a refreshing thing, because most coaches, I hate to say it, most football coaches are kind of they're sort of they're one-dimensional. They're not unless you get to know them personally. Yeah. They sort of have that us against the world mentality. You don't see that as much in the other sports. I think it's the militaristic nature of the game. Jim Harbaugh was that way. I like Jim Harbaugh, but he was tough to deal with sometimes. Kind of like dealing with Captain Queeg. You had to really be careful where you have to walk on eggshells with that guy sometimes.
Yeah, I appreciate a guy who doesn't assume he knows everything.
Yeah,
because he had to learn at some point.
Well, and who does know everything? Football coaches. A lot of them think that they've reinvented the wheel. It's football. I mean, yeah, it's complex, but the great ones, use the same ideas, the same philosophies, but they just manage to make it more palatable for the players, and the players like that. The players want to feel like they're invested. They don't want to just, I'm not just a piece of meat that you put into a slot and I'm going to do this. I want to be part of something greater. That's the great thing about sports. You're a part of something greater than who you are. Yeah. And I think Pete Carroll recognizes that. And, there are a few coaches out there like that. Not a lot of them. And I think when they get a hold of some good athletes, as the Seahawks have, they can go a long way.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely a gutsy call.
Yeah.
But one can obviously we all criticized it, but it was definitely unexpected.
Totally unexpected.
And if it would have worked, he would have
Well,
oh my gosh, look what he pulled out of a bag.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. Marshawn Lynch, his short yardage situation is almost a sure thing. Yet at the same time, when you get inside the 10-yard line, teams are really tough to score on, and everybody knew that they were going to probably run the ball. And, I think they had one timeout left. I'm not sure. But they were at the 2-yard line with 26 seconds to go. There's no sure thing that you're going to get it in there.
Well, and your defensive backs are not going to be 20 yards behind either. They're going to be right there.
They're going to be right there. The thing was, it was a gutsy call. If it worked, everybody would say he's a genius. It didn't. Now they're questioning him. But I think he gets a little bit of a pass because he took the team to the championship, and the year before they won it all. So,
Well, we all had that issue with Harbaugh and Colin Kaepernick.
Oh, yeah. A couple years ago against the Colts or against the Ravens. When they had the ball inside the 10 and they kept throwing the ball to Eric Crab or to Michael Crabtree.
Yeah. Again, unexpected, but come on. I mean, at that time, that was 3 calls.
Yeah, that didn't. I think Harbaugh's going to regret that one. It was grave. I hate to say it.
Real, I can only imagine what a coach and the players go through with
the whole season.
Rest of your life.
Well, think about the whole for them. I mean, it's the whole season. You're right. These guys take it so seriously because it is their life. It'd be like somebody coming along, in your business and saying, you made an investment in something that didn't work out. I mean, it not only didn't work out, but it just practically ruined. It didn't ruin you, but it really took a bite out of you.
Sure.
And that's what it does to these guys. Maybe it doesn't, threaten their livelihood, but it's debilitating emotionally.
Yeah, but even as a fan, we do that. I mean, I'm still
still upset.
Well, not only that, I go back to back a long time ago with certain things that happened, decisions. Well, here, let's see. This one isn't that long ago, but was it 2002 World Series with the
God, when the Giants blew that 6th game.
Yeah,
that one really. I was there for that one, and that one just to this day, I think I would. Of all the Giant losses, that was the worst. I mean, I would rather have taken a championship there any day than had to wait another 8 years. And granted, it was great seeing them win 3 and 5 years, but geez, that team should have won. That was a great team.
Yeah.
You look at who they had in that team: Bonds, Kent, Santiago, Rob, Nen. I mean, that was an all-star team, and J.T. Snow and Reggie Sanders and Rich Aurilia. And, God.
I mean,
You know?
even let's
Kenny
say-
Lofton.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Even the '62 World Series.
Uh.
You look and you say it wasn't so much of a decision; it was just a couple of feet higher, and McCovey's ball goes over.
Yeah.
Was that Bobby Richardson?
Bobby
right?
Ray, for those that don't remember, the series is tied 3-3. They're in San Francisco. Runner at first base, 2 out. Mays doubles into the corner because the grass was wet. It held up the ball, and Roger Maris was able to get to it. He had a great arm, and Matty Lou, a fast runner, could not make it home. It's held at third. Mays was at second, so the tying runs at third. Winning runs at second. Up steps McCovey, who was already homered off Terry in the World Series. Hits the first pitch over the fence, but foul. Next pitch hits a bullet right at Bobby Richardson. Game over, series over.
Yeah.
And they didn't get back to a World Series for 27 years, and they didn't win a World Series game until 2002, so it took them 40 years to win another World Series game. Well, hey, listen, we got our payback. Well, we got our payback. We got 3 and 5 years. That's why I'm not complaining about them not making it this year. If they don't make it, which they probably
No,
won't.
like I said, it's an odd year. They can only win on even years.
Let the Cubs or let the Mets win it. I'd love to see the Mets. That'd be a great story. The Mets go to the World Series against Toronto. Wouldn't that be fun? Toronto and the Mets.
Yeah,
Toronto's a hot team right now.
They are.
Yeah.
Josh Donaldson's just going crazy. But
yeah.
I don't know. They're a Canadian team, though.
Well, they're mostly made up of American guys, though.
True.
I guess, is Josh Donaldson from Canada?
I don't know. But he played with the A's.
Yeah.
He was good with the A's.
He was
Boy,
terrific.
He really just taken off.
He's put up better numbers than Mike Trout. Mike Trout was the odds-on MVP, and he's really slumped lately. And the Angels have just gone in the tank. What has happened to that team?
It's the same thing with the Washington Nationals.
There's a very disappointing. The Nationals and also the Padres. Those are two teams that were supposed to do so well, and they've just been really dog meat this year, mediocre at best.
The Padres always seem to be like the Cubs. They just can't.
Yeah. A lot of it is front office. Who the Padres had that you can remember, that have really been great front office people. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head.
No, but they traded for. Well, of course, they gave away Adrian Gonzalez. That wasn't so good. But then they got Matt Kemp.
Yeah.
And
you got James Shields. I thought that this year was going to be the year that they'd make a run. But you just can't. When you go out and buy the top free agents, you can't just automatically assume you're going to be in the playoffs. I mean, there have been so many teams that have done that and it hasn't worked. Why I like the Giants? They go out and they cherry pick. They get to bring in a guy like this year. They went out and traded for Mike Leake. They gave up nothing to get him. They traded for Marlon Byrd. They gave up nothing to get him. And granted, they're probably not going to get the playoffs, but those were two bold moves that didn't cost a lot for the future, and you brought in 2 veteran guys who could help.
Oh, yeah, Marlon Byrd was just on a tear when he first came over.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
But you don't have Hunter Pence, you don't have Joe Panic, you don't have Brandon Crawford, you don't have Angel Pagan, in recent days.
Lincecum's gone.
Lincecum's gone too. Of course, he hasn't done much this year anyway, but still, it's just their injuries that just kill. Injuries are the great unknown, and they've been killed by the injuries. So
that's right.
There you go, my friend.
There you go. Okay, when we come back, we'll talk a little football.
Oh, we're going away?
Well,
you said when we come back. We're not going anywhere, are we?
I
got to tease you here. For years, I had a program director, my boss, he used to say, when I do a talk show, he'd say, when it's time to go to a break, we'll be right back. We're not going anywhere. Stop saying we're going away. People will turn off the radio.
No,
so
they
funny.
won't.
No, I I just thought he was being a little bit of a tight ass.
Just
pardon my French.
Yeah, that one you can say. A couple other words you can't say.
No, that's true.
Okay, here we go to our first commercial break, and we're talking weird sports trivia.
Right up my alley.
Okay.
Yeah.
What sports balls does William Shakespeare refer to in Henry VIII?
Oh, God, where does that one come? That came out of left field. What sports balls
Left field. No, it's not baseball.
Oh.
Okay. What sports balls does William Shakespeare refer to in Henry V? The first email with the correct answer is going to win a free 3-day 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. Email Edward at sportsecon101.com the answer to that question. And don't touch that dial, because what's going to happen to Sports Econ 101? We're coming back.
That's
from
right.
Commercial.
We're not going away. We're coming right back.
All right.
Yeah, he used to drive me up the wall with that.
I know.
Stop saying that!
I know, and I tried to change it, and I kept forgetting
okay.
that.
No big deal.
But I do hear that a lot. I mean, I'm not the only one who says that.
And my real estate gal's all upset because the window that we ordered and the sliding glass window won't be available for 5 weeks, so the house won't be able to be put on the market for 5 weeks. She was hoping to have it ready.
But that's okay.
Yeah, it's not that big a
the
deal.
time is not.
It's not that big a deal.
You have a good realtor?
Oh, she's terrific. Yeah, she's very good. Zamira Solari. She works
Makes
for
sense for me.
Pacific Union.
Oh, okay.
Nice gal. She's about your age. Lives over in Kentfield with her husband and 2 daughters.
You used her before?
No, but I heard good things about her, and she's been outstanding. She's not only trying to sell our place for us, but she's trying to find us a place that we can buy. She's already referred us to a couple places, and one of them was okay. It was nice.
Well, one of my co-hosts on the other show is Patty Cohn from also Pacific Union.
Sure.
I'm sure
she knows them very well.
Oh yeah. Sure they work together.
Yeah, that's it, man. So I never see anybody park up on the roof up here. Is this roof always?
You know, it's because there's just either they got vacancy in the building, or there's just not enough employees.
I didn't realize there's 4 levels of parking. You can park anywhere in here, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Do you have to have parking to get up to the second?
Yeah, the little fob.
But the bottom, the B of A, I always park there. Nobody hassles me at all.
Yeah.
No, whenever I go to downtown Santa Fe at dinner, I just park it there.
Well, yeah, if you're at nighttime, no one's gonna.
Even during the daytime, nobody does it. Never.
Really?
Never.
Yeah, you're lucky.
Never.
Sometimes they have a security guard who kind of.
Well, you know what I do if he does? I'd say I was in the bank half an hour ago. Which is not entirely untrue.
You're in the bank. You're a Bank of America
customer.
customer.
Bank of America customer. I'll show him my card if I have to. Jeez.
Yeah, there you
Come
go.
on now.
So I'm trying to give a big loan with that.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Here we go.
Some football.
Talk some football. You want to talk some football?
We'll talk some football.
I want to talk about. Let's hit without the pads. I want to hit your goddamn ass without that pads.
Where's that come from?
It's a movie. I remember this. One of these old movies. They got. I want to hit you in the ass without the pads.
Yeah, that's right. You just can't say the GD.
No, right.
Okay.
GD, no.
Here we go. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. Yes, we did go away.
We did.
And then we came back.
And we came back.
Okay. You're listening to Sports Econ 101. I'm Edward Brown, along with Bruce McGowan. We cut to the first commercial break. We asked this weird sports trivia question. What sports balls does William Shakespeare refer to in Henry V?
I'm guessing cricket balls?
No, tennis.
They had tennis back then?
They did.
Wow, I knew they had something like cricket back then, but I didn't know they had tennis.
They had
that long
tennis,
ago?
yeah.
Was it played the same way with the net and balls?
I guess so. I mean, it could.
Wow.
The answer, I guess, could have been golf because golf was in the 1400s, right?
Well, you know what's been around longer? You know what's been around longer than that? Bowling, but also lacrosse, the Native American version of lacrosse, which used to be played over huge expanses, and the teams that would win would take the other team's prisoner and sometimes cut their heads off. So there was a lot at stake in those days.
I say bring those days back.
Yeah, let's have it.
Yeah.
And live television, too. Kind of like the Hunger Games.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that movie, by the way?
I finally did.
What a strange film.
Odd, yeah.
Yeah.
They're very odd.
Very odd film. My daughter watched it with me. She's 10 years old, and I thought, this is kind of inappropriate for children to watch.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
In fact, bowling, that's been around since the Egyptian time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You used to be a pretty good bowler, didn't you?
That was my sport.
Yeah.
Sporto, yes.
Yeah. So you knew Earl Anthony then?
Actually, you know what's funny about him? You mentioned him. Okay, I didn't know.
He's still around, isn't he?
No, he died about 20 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, but interestingly enough, the one big tournament I won was at the Lanes. That 1 week after I won it, he bought the bowling alley.
Where was it?
In Dublin.
Really?
Yeah, it was just weird. I
Cool.
tease people. I say, well, after I won it, of course he wanted to buy the bowling alley.
Yeah, quick bowling question for you. Whatever happened to the old Greenbrae lanes here in Marin County? They used to. They're huge.
They tore it down. That's why it was my house. That's
why did they take it down? It was very popular. Why did they take it down?
Well, because the owner was able to sell it to a developer who built those office buildings.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, they have the one down in Center Field, but it's really funky. My daughter loves to go there because they have the good cotton candy, she says. And now I know why she's not into the bowling. She just wants the cotton candy and the hot dogs.
Well, they got rid of the other one.
Isn't it amazing what kids like? Cotton candy and hot dogs. I took her to a game a couple weeks ago,
like those.
and she said, do they have good hot dogs at the ballpark? I said, you better believe they do. Do they have good cotton candy? I'm not a cotton candy aficionado. Well, they better have cotton candy or I'm not going. And I went all over that stadium. It took me half an hour to find somebody who would sell me cotton candy. I'm telling you, it's not a real popular item.
So, are you telling me that your little girl has you wrapped around her finger? Of course.
More or less. Well, God, what daughter doesn't have her older dad, So.
I know. It was funny. I was running down. Apparently, and it's funny. I'd forgotten this story. My wife reminded me that one time we were coming down from this hike, and then there was this hill, and I started kind of running down the hill, and so my daughter says, "Daddy, stop! I need you!" And then boom, I stop just dead in my tracks. And when your daughter says, "I need you,"
I
she's
need
like
you.
4 or 5 years old. Boom.
You better listen.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
true.
even more so than when your wife says she needs you.
That's true.
Yeah, when your wife says she needs you, yeah, you should listen. But when your daughter says she needs you, that's when you really
because
listen.
when she says she needs you,
She
needs you right away.
Yeah, there's not pulling any punches at that age.
No, because when my wife says she needs me, I can say, "Well, do you need me now, or can you wait 5 minutes?"
And the key, as I said earlier, and for all you guys out there who want to have a happy marriage or want to have a happy relationship, when a woman says something, just listen to her. Don't say anything. Look in her eyes, acknowledge what she's saying, and say, "Yes, honey, I'm hearing you." Don't say that out loud, though, but make it seem like, and you'll have a happy relationship.
And don't try to fix the problem.
Do not. Women do not want you to try to fix their problem. They just want you to listen.
Yeah,
That's what I love about, and that's what I love about women when they get together. They tell each other their troubles, but they just listen well. Men, we always try to solve the problem.
Well, because when I come to you and I tell you my trouble, I'm asking for advice usually.
That's right. And if you did that for me, I would give you my advice. It probably would be the worst advice you've ever gotten, but I would give it to you.
No, you're a pretty good guy. Come on.
Well, you know, I have my quirks.
And then for those who want to read a good book on marriage, the book Women Are from Venus, Men Are Wrong.
Oh, that's right. Men are, and don't forget it, you're always wrong. Even if you're right, you're wrong.
This is a Sports Econ 101 along with marriage counseling.
They're two guys that have been through the wars. How many years for you now, Edward?
It'll go on 26 years.
Wow, and I'm on 20. So we know where we speak.
Yeah, well,
young guys out there listening.
Listen, you know what? I've been married so long, I don't know if I was born first or married first. Which one came first?
And I can't remember my single days now. It just seems so distant. It's almost, it's hazy little images of faceless women that just paraded through my life and didn't mean a thing. And then along came Colette, and she just took me by surprise and stole my heart. She's had it ever since.
Yeah, and when you get in an argument with your wife, you just ask her for forgiveness and
Yeah.
go on, whether you're right or wrong.
Well, and when she burps, I think she's my princess. That's. I mean, that's the ultimate compliment. When your wife burps, you look at her and you go, "God, even a princess burps." You know?
Did you say that to her?
I did, and she liked it.
Wow,
Yeah.
I got to remember that one.
Little things like that make a difference. Make a big difference, yeah.
Okay, so a little football.
Oh, football. Well, let's go hit without the pads.
Remember, in fact, when I say that, I'm reminded of the movie The Longest Yard.
Oh God, yeah.
It's Sonny.
Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, but they get the big guy, not Samson, but the other guy. You go, football.
You want that guy up front blocking the extra point.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what you want him playing.
His name was Sonny in the movie.
Sonny, yes.
Okay, so what's going on? What else is going on with football, though?
Well, out here on the West Coast, it's interesting. We have two teams that really are kind of hard to read. The 49ers, everybody's pretty much in the Bay Area has pretty much shoveled dirt on their grave before the season's even started. And maybe there's some good reason for that. I mean, you lose Patrick Willis and Chris Borland and, several other veteran players, and your head coach who has been the guy that's taken to near the promised land several years, Jim Harbaugh. And you bring in a lot of unknowns. You don't know what this. But the thing is, they've got a good core. I think they're going to be a respectable team. The team that intrigues me, though, are the Oakland Raiders. I think that team could finish 500 this year, and that doesn't sound like much, but considering where they've been, I mean, they were 3-13 last year. I don't know what Mark Davis was thinking when he fired Hugh Jackson and brought in Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen he's a good guy and a good assistant. He's just not a head coaching material. Some guys are just not meant to be head coaches, and the players never listen to him. And of course, they didn't have much to work with anyway.
Well, this year they might come close to maybe coming close to making the playoffs.
Maybe. They got some good. I love Khalil Mack. I love Carr, their quarterback. I love Latavius Murray, and they've got Michael Crabtree, and they brought in some help on the offensive line. Marvin Hudson, their center from Kansas City. I mean, I like some of the young players. They got Justin Tuck. They got Charles Woodson is still back there. I mean, they're not a great team, but they're going to be fun to watch.
You said Michael Crabtree.
Yeah. The 49ers cut him loose, and then the Raiders picked him up, and he'll be picking up a lot of cars. Carr really impressed me last year. His numbers were good, and you consider he was under siege much of the year. It was his rookie year. He was not supposed to be the quarterback. He took that job during the preseason and won it. And Derek Carr is well respected by the players. He's an interesting guy. You have to watch it with him though, because once in a while he is a born again, and he'll start wanting to talk about Jesus and his commitment to Christ and God. And it kind of makes for an awkward situation when you're trying to ask him about defenses facing, and I go, as my dad once told me, and then he gets off on a tangent about God. It's like, okay.
Well, this is how Jesus would play.
Well, he's not quite like that, but and I'm not poking fun. No disrespect. Yeah, no disrespect to Jesus or to his faith, but it's just you have to be a little careful. Some guys are that way. They take their faith very seriously.
Tim Tebow does.
Tim Tebow does. Yeah.
But when he's answering questions, though, does he answer the questions directly?
Yeah, I've always liked the way he deals with the media. I don't know. I've yet to figure out why he didn't play for 2 years. That guy was a great player.
I don't understand it either.
Other than just being blacklisted because of. But what did he do? He didn't break any laws. He wasn't a troublemaker. Players like playing with him. He's a great athlete. I mean, you can use him in a lot of different positions. Why wouldn't anybody hire this guy? And they could have gotten him for peanuts.
Yeah, maybe that's something the coaches.
I don't know. I guess a reputation, unfortunately, sometimes carries too much weight. Coaches here, coaches are just like all of us. We tend to go along with the crowd. So, there you go.
And is the Deflategate going to be a big issue?
We talked about a tempest in a teapot. Just a waste of time. And this is what the NFL is. No wonder people get upset with the NFL. I mean, they're worried about whether Tom Brady, deflated the footballs. Come on.
Jeez. So he gets a 4-game suspension, and then they take it to court, and the court throws it out.
It's like a waste of taxpayers' money. Roger Goodell should be ashamed for himself. He's got more important things to deal with, like
how to spend his $30 million salary.
Well, and also, I hate to say it, the NFL has been plagued with a lot of bad behavior off the field by its players. Look at the 49ers. 49ers have had 7 players in the last couple of years that have been in trouble with the law. That is not a good record. Not a good record.
What is going on? Like they just purposely go.
Well,
the Raiders used to do that too. They just get.
Well, they say the Raiders did that, but the Raiders actually didn't do that. The teams that have done that, the very few teams that have done that, have not fared so well. When you're winning, you can get away with it. Them 49ers were winning. Now they're not winning anymore, so people are calling them on the carpet. But I don't get it. I can't remember the young man's name that they just picked up in the offseason, defensive back, who's going to miss the first 4 games of the year because he broke some law. Why pick up a guy like that, especially after you've cut loose Ray McDonald and you've cut loose Ahmad Brooks or not Ahmad Brooks, but the other linebacker, Alden Smith, and Ahmad Brooks is in trouble. I mean, why would you do that? I don't get it.
Just to keep things status quo in the locker room.
I guess keep the number of troublemakers at a certain level.
Exactly.
We have our quota. Have something to talk about. Give the media something to talk about.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, here's our trivia theme: weird sports trivia. Question number 2: what religious leader is credited with inventing 9-pin bowling? Now, we said bowling was invented like...
Jeez, you're doing all the bowling trivia here. I think you're cheating because this is your sport.
The first one wasn't bowling.
Yeah. It was tennis. Well, that's true.
Okay, the first email with the correct answer is going to win a free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. It's like I'm going back in time with all this.
Yeah,
stuff,
you are.
Okay, so what religious leader is credited with inventing 9-pin bowling? Which I'm not that familiar. I guess is it like 9 ball?
I guess
they make it like a diamond shape.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. Yeah.
All right, stay with us. You're listening to Sports Econ 101. We'll be right back. Okay. Just 10 minutes. Let me just say hi to Mark.
Right.
We're waiting a few minutes. I got to record one more quick.
Oh, is he doing your second show?
He's my main co-host.
Right.
He's a really nice guy.
Good deal.
He's the one who actually is the president of Pacific Private Money.
Oh, cool. So he's your boss in a sense. You're his boss. You're his boss.
Nah, it's he's
all one big happy family.
Yeah, yeah. He doesn't look at it.
So Colette really likes her new Touareg. She got a VW Touareg. She got rid of the Jetta and got this Touareg. It's kind of like a small minivan or a small SUV.
Like an SUV. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very comfortable. And it's kind of you press a button and the engine starts.
Yeah,
I kind of like that.
You just have to. It's so funny.
You press the.
You have to put the brake on.
Yeah. Isn't that
it
weird?
took me 10 minutes to figure that out. The first time we got the car.
That's funny.
Yeah, lots of cars that way.
Okay.
So I wonder, do you think Andy might be able to call in a little earlier?
I don't know. You could try. I mean, what time is it now?
It is 27 after.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. 22 after.
Well, give him a shot. What do you got to lose?
Okay.
If you can't do it until 3:30, you can't do it until 3:30. Otherwise, we're sitting around here for 8 minutes, not knowing. I know those boxes. My wife's been getting a lot of those. Filling those boxes right there. She's buying a lot of those.
Oh, actually, they're not. It's not a box. It's a Post-it note.
Oh.
A huge Post-it note. Isn't that funny?
Cool. It looks like a box.
So I did this 408 number.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's it.
Hi, this is Andy.
Andy, hey, it's Edward Brown and Bruce McGowan. I know we're calling a little early. Is this okay?
Can I move to a location in 5 minutes, which is quieter, and you call me back in 5 and we can start?
Sure. At the same number?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
It must be his cell phone.
Yeah, it
But
is a
it's
cell
good.
phone. Yeah, it sounds good. He's got a good cell phone, actually. Some people have cell phones. It sounds like they're right next door to you.
Yeah.
And then other people have cell phones like,
What would you say?
Especially, it's so funny when we're doing KNBR, Coach. It was the money scorecard.
right.
So it was a business show, and I tried to get some sports stuff in it. One of the co-hosts was in Southern California,
Oh, okay.
and many times he was on his cell phone.
Oh, yeah.
And the problem is he'd sometimes be driving,
Yeah,
and you're hey, how long would I guess, and then it would cut out.
yeah, that's awful.
I mean,
hate that.
I feel like we lost him. It's like
That's the thing I hate about cell phones. They're not reliable. These are really strong. These iPhone 6s. They have
Oh, yeah.
really good. They have
Awesome,
really
yes.
good penetration. Yeah.
yeah, it's amazing
But they burn up the power like you wouldn't
the
believe.
battery.
Oh, every day I have to recharge it. It's dead now.
I would think that you'd have to do it at least once a day.
Yeah,
Even
every
the regular
day
ones,
for
yeah.
about an hour. Yeah, but it's a great phone. I mean, you can do everything on this phone. You can record music on it. You can record video on it. Everything. I recorded the game-winning hit for the Pacifics the other night. It was kind of cool. Got the crowd and posted it on my webpage. So it was like, oh, great to see the Pacifics. Yay. And Mike Shapiro wasn't there, so he's had some health issues.
Oh.
He's got what is it? He's got kidney stones.
Oh no!
Which you know what those are like, right?
I've never had. My dad had them, and he said,
What are actually the symptoms of those?
pain.
I know pain. But I mean, where is the pain?
In your lower back because of your kidneys.
I wonder if maybe that's what I got. No, if
Well,
I
now,
had kidney
if you're
stones, it'd be a lot
stuff,
worse.
Yeah.
Because this is tolerable. It grabs it once in a while, but it's
And then
not
you have
bad.
like either you can't pee or you have incredible pain. Because basically it basically turns a little stone, and it's funny because
a little stone gets in your.
little tiny urethra.
Oh.
Yeah.
I heard a friend of mine had to have it. That's right. A friend of mine had it, and he said they had to stick a little hose up into his urethra and suck it out. And he goes, the pain of putting that in your. He says you don't realize how sensitive your urethra is. And they put this little thing up there. He's like, ah! So they started doing it. It was such pain. They gave him a shot in his pee-pee. It anesthetized his pee-pee so it didn't hurt, like a Novocaine or something.
The shot for the Novocaine probably hurt.
It did, but he did it right at the base of
Yeah.
his scrotum, so it wasn't going into his penis. So it wasn't so painful.
God.
But it took about an hour for them to do the whole operation or the whole procedure.
Sometimes they do laser things.
Yeah,
They can
it's
chop
amazing nowadays. They can do a lot of less invasive surgeries.
Yeah.
I mean, most cancer surgeries today they can do with laser.
Yeah. I remember when my dad had it. He goes, it's one of the only times he goes, I wish I was dead.
Oh, he had what kind of? He had prostate, right?
No, he had kidney stones.
Oh, yeah,
he
kidney
died
stones.
of a heart
Oh, yeah,
attack.
yeah.
But when he had that, he
How old was your dad when he died?
was 53.
53.
And a half.
That's your age, isn't it?
No, I'm 55.
Wow, he was younger than you when he died. What happened?
Heart attack in the office, but okay, so he didn't drink and he didn't do drugs,
Right,
but he smoked.
right,
He had a lot of stress,
right.
a little overweight,
Yeah.
bad diet.
And probably a history of problems. in the family.
And his dad died at 63.
Well, you got to watch it then, because it's that in your family. Make sure you limit the stress.
That's right, yeah. That I've been pretty
Maximize
good.
the exercise and the good food.
Yep, I used to have a little more stress, and then I've had.
Are you pretty stress free now?
For the most part.
Yeah. It's it's not so much living a lifestyle that's stress free, but just handling the stress that's in your life.
That's it.
It's like
5%
it's your
what
attitude.
happens to you, 95% how you deal with it.
Colette was telling me that. She goes, Bruce, you worry too much about stuff that's out of your control. And I said, something, you're absolutely right, because she is amazing with this cancer. I talked to her about it the other night, because we haven't spoken about it in weeks. I said, I want to talk to you about your cancer. Molly wasn't around. And I said, I just, if you don't want to talk about it, I understand that, there's nothing really to say. But I said, how are you staying so even-keeled and not showing any emotional, being overwrought about it, or
Yeah.
how are you doing that? I said, I just am amazed. I said, if it was me, I don't know how I'd handle it.
Yeah.
She goes, well, there's nothing I can do. So she said, I'm doing the best I can to fight it, and there's no point in me
That's it. Great
making
attitude.
making a bad situation worse. And
Yeah.
says, plus our daughter doesn't need to know that her mom is out of control. So
That's a great attitude.
I think if Molly wasn't around, it might be a little tougher on her. But because Molly's around, that Serena
Has
is
to be
focused.
strong.
She has to be strong. Yeah. Andy Dolich.
Mr. Dolich, it's Edward and Bruce again. How are you?
I'm ready when you are.
Okay.
Ready and willing to take some shots.
So,
Well, I still play basketball, so I'm always ready and willing to take some shots.
I like it.
all
I
right.
used to be a good 3-point shooter back in the
Did
day.
you?
I was actually.
Actually, that's about all I can do.
That's
Well,
yeah.
Without bragging, I still am.
Really? Are you seriously? You can shoot the 3-pointer pretty well.
Jeff
You're the-
actually was a letter-winning D1 last guy on the bench college basketball player.
Really? Where'd you go to school, Andy?
American University.
Oh yeah, back in D.C. Yeah.
The
Wow.
home of Kermit Washington.
That's right. The guy who leveled Rudy Tomjanovich with one punch.
Yeah, and actually Kermit is one of the
Oh, I know.
highest quality professional. My other friend,
Great guy.
John Feinstein, I don't know, have you read the book?
Yeah, no, I have. I know I didn't know Kermit real well, but I got to interview him a bunch of times. Great
A
guy.
terrific person whose life, two great people in Rudy T.
Yeah, both great
Kermit.
guys.
Rudy, Kermit was always the villain after that happened.
Well, the neat thing about that, though, even though those two had that encounter, at the same time, in a weird sort of way, it brought them together. They became really good friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get right into this, and I'm gonna we're gonna answer the trivia question, and then we'll have Bruce introduce you and
Away we'll go.
get your advice. Okay, here we go. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. Again, I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Bruce McGowan. When we cut to the second commercial break, we asked this weird sports trivia question. What religious leader is credited with inventing 9-pin bowling?
I have no idea, but our guest, Andy Dolich, who's a former front office mogul with not only the Warriors and the 49ers and the Memphis Grizzlies and the Oakland A's, might have an answer. Andy, you want to take a stab at this one?
Wow. What a great way to start a show.
Yeah, put our guest on the hot seat.
I would say, wow, Brigham Young. I'm going
There
to
you go.
No, Martin Luther.
I was going to say that.
There you
Seriously,
see,
it was just a total guess.
In fact,
Wow.
that's
Yeah.
before Carmen Salvino, Don Carter,
Yeah.
Harry Smith,
Yeah.
And Andy Verapapa.
and Andy Verapapa.
Wow, you guys
Now,
know your.
I have a religious trivia question. You should
Okay.
probably
Sure.
never ask these kinds of questions. So this is just name a nation in which people do not take their headwear off while the national anthem is being played.
So there's a bunch of them, aren't there? Iran, Iraq.
I mean, I would think it would be some Middle Eastern
yeah,
country, is
I
it?
think of several countries on it. But is it
And
just one?
And Israel, right?
Israel, that's true.
Econ.
Yeah.
So, Bruce, you can't ever get anything past Bruce.
That's
There you
true.
go.
All right, so we
Now
have
that's reaching back into
Yeah, that is reaching back. That
So-
is.
Bruce. What do you want to ask our expert?
Well, I'd like to ask Andy Dolich because Andy, as I mentioned, worked with the 49ers, worked with the Warriors, and worked with the A's. So he's worked with all three major league sports, and of course Memphis, the Memphis Grizzlies. But we are in a unique situation here in Oakland, in the Bay Area. We have three teams in one complex in three different sports, which I don't know. I don't think there's any other city that has that, and all three teams could be gone. What's going on here, Andy? Well, illuminate us, because we know what's going on, but the average fan out there listening in America is saying to themselves, "Why would Oakland let any of these teams get away? How has this happened?"
Well, first and foremost, that's the trivia question for next week. What is the last physical location in the United States that has three major professional sports teams performing at one location?
Oakland.
That's right.
That's it.
Little old Oakland, and they're all on on the danger list.
Question 1A to that, even better, is what is the last shared stadium between a Major League Baseball team and an NFL football team?
And
Oakland Coliseum.
where the Raiders' names play.
So, what a perfect segue to the question. It is a very, very confusing time, and having been interviewed on this question more than once, there's a gentleman who ran a country called Britain in and around the Second World War named Winston Churchill. You probably remember him.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he invented any type of bowling. Anyway, he used to say, I think this was in regards to Russia, it's a mystery wrapped in an enigma, shrouded by something else.
By a riddle.
By riddle.
Yeah, that's it, riddle.
Yeah.
So I changed the order there. But if you look at Oakland, I think you could use that quote. So let's deal with reality. The reality is that the Warriors are world champion Golden State Warriors. That still sounds a little strange to say that,
Yeah.
but it's absolute, led by MVP Steph Curry, right?
Yeah.
And the number one young woman in the country, his daughter Riley Curry,
Oh, yeah.
who should immediately run for president and be elected in a landslide if he could be three as president. Anyway, the Warriors, even though there is some legal unhappiness and some big money opposed to their building their new arena in Mission Bay, I would say from everything that I've seen and heard, it's going to happen. The Warriors will play in San Francisco and leave Oracle, let's say by the 18-19 season. Hey, it's California, it's San Francisco politics. Anything is possible, but they're gone.
Then they'll be back to the San Francisco Warriors.
Which they never should have left San Francisco to begin with. I'm a native San Francisco. They never should have left San Francisco. Of course, they had no good place to
Well, and if they came over, when they came over, they should have been the Oakland Warriors.
That's right.
Bruce,
Good point.
That's our institutional view. What is a Golden State?
Exactly.
Where is it? What's its zip code? Who's the mayor?
Well, you know the reason why it was called that to begin with. Frank Lemuley, when the team moved over there permanently, his original plan was to play, I think, 20 games outside of the Bay Area in the Valley and down in San Diego, and he wanted to give them this amorphous name, Golden State, and that's how it evolved.
Well, I'll tell you this as you're mentioning it. That was an immediate call to where I first started my career with the then infamous Philadelphia 76ers. And in 1972-73, as you remember, they put up the worst record in the history of the NBA, which stands today. They were 9-73. 9-73.
Who was on that team, Andy?
Fred Mad Dog Carter, John Q. Trapp from Long Beach State, the Jerry Tarkanian led Long Beach State, Leroy Ellis, Kevin Lockery, Dick Van Arsdale, one of the two identical Van Arsdale twins.
There's some pretty good players there, actually.
Toby Kimball, Dale Schluter, Freddie Boyd.
Well, those guys were
on and on. Anyway.
Well, you know what's really embarrassing is one of the 9 teams that lost to them.
Well, that is that's another race. That's another show we'll do.
Okay.
We were so bad that, so the next season we played 10 games in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and 6 games in Pittsburgh, so we wouldn't have to play all of our games.
Wasn't Hershey the place where Wilt Chamberlain scored the 100 points, Andy? I think
that was in 67, 68, or something like that, maybe earlier than that.
Way back in
So back to Oakland. Let's deal with the Raiders first. I'm not sure there's anybody, guys, that really knows how this is going to end up, meaning where will the Raiders be? What we know is the Raiders will be in Oakland this year. Now, what has the speculation been? It's been a shared stadium in Carson, California. It's been a tenant of the new stadium that may be built in Inglewood, California. It's been looking at San Antonio and playing in the Alamo. No, actually the Alamo Dome, right? Not the actual Alamo. It's been, wow, well, if the St. Louis Rams move to Englewood, maybe somebody goes to St. Louis, because St. Louis is making some pretty significant progress on getting the financing, funding, corporate, and business support to build a new stadium in St. Louis. And they've been supportive, of the NFL since, the Rams moved there from LA, which kind of started all this. I went through, some discussions, as did Jed York and Amy Trask, when Al Davis was still alive, about what the NFL really wants is a two-team solution to stadiums, as we see working in an extremely lucrative way in New York between the Jets and the Giants, right? Playing in the same facility. Al Davis chose not to pursue sharing of what became Levi's Stadium and said, we'll pursue a stadium on our own. Now, if we go back to Oakland, Mark Davis has said repeatedly, we don't have the money to build our own stadium. Somebody else is going to have to do it for us. And the latest is that the Coliseum City concept, which is Floyd Kephart working with the city and the county, seems to be in its final stages of breath, and it's over. I think the date that the city and the county have stated is September 24th, and I believe that Kephart will cease to be a part of this conversation, which means the city and the county and the Joint Powers Authority have said, and I'm sure they are, talking to the Raiders and the A's, who we'll get to in a moment. So what are the most realistic circumstances for the Raiders? Totally speculative on my part, gentlemen, but I believe that the Carson scenario, I do not believe you will see two new NFL stadiums in the LA basin, meaning that I believe that Englewood is in first place, no matter what climate policy says, who's representing Carson. And I believe that the Chargers, to a certain extent, are playing the Raiders so that they can get the best deal possible on the table to build a new stadium in downtown San Diego. So that means the Raiders surely wouldn't be in that stadium in San Diego. They would eventually have an opportunity to move into the Englewood Stadium based upon what the NFL would like to see.
Seems like the team that's most likely to stay then, Andy, is the Oakland A's, because it looks like there's really no place for a major league team to go right now. There's no stadium that's ready, and Lou Wolf has said time after time he does not want to leave the Bay Area, but he's waiting and waiting and waiting, and they've made it clear they're not going to. Major League does not want a team up in Sacramento. So maybe if the Raiders move, that would solve the problem. They could fix it.
I absolutely agree with what you just said, Bruce. I believe the A's will be the last team standing. Lou Wolf and John Fisher have a very successful background in doing very complicated developments. I happen to believe, without being a real estate person, that land in and around 66th Avenue is going to be the next Mission Bay, the next China Basin.
Wow.
Think 17 years ago about what you saw at China Basin.
That's true. That place was a dump.
Yeah.
It was worse than Chernobyl, right?
It's interesting that you mentioned that, because on 66th Avenue, actually it was 81st.
You're talking about 66th in Oakland.
In Oakland, yeah. It was actually on 81st Avenue. We used to own the building across from Mother's Cookies. And it was the old Sunshine Biscuits.
I remember that, yeah.
It was a quarter-mile long building. It was a 500,000 square foot building.
Wow.
Amazing. So it was really close to the Coliseum.
Yeah.
So
should have hung on to it, Edward.
Bruce, you probably have, and I know I have on my Mother's Cookie cards. Remember?
Oh, yeah, I have those.
Yeah.
My wife just had me box them up and put them away.
Granny Goose.
Granny Goose.
Granny Goose.
Yeah. Those were one of the best promotions you guys ever had, I think.
Yeah, so if you look at that, and I guess it can be convertible, there's 150 acres, 180, 220, depending on how you look at the different pieces of land.
Yeah.
You look at the transportation capabilities of BART, the airport connector. There is an airport at the end of it. That you've got 880. That you have all of these other roads. You know, the Coliseum always has been, is, and will be the most incredible transportation-friendly location. That's why there are 3 professional sports teams there,
Yep.
and concerts and all kinds of other events.
Oh, hey, Andy, stay with us. We got to cut to a quick commercial break, and
Sure.
we're going to wrap this up. All right. What test? We're talking weird sports trivia. What test was introduced in the 1968 Olympics in Mexico City? All right. The first email with the correct answer wins a free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. Email edward@sportsecon101.com the answer to this question. What test was introduced in the 1968 Olympics in Mexico City? Stay with us. You're listening to Sports Econ 101. When we come back, we're going to wrap this thing up with Andy Dolich. All right. Let me just save this file here, and then we'll finish up. It's going to be a very quick 1 minute.
What you been up to today, Andy?
What?
What have you been up to today?
Doing some work on my USF Master's Program in Collegiate Athletics, meeting with a nonprofit about how to make them more profitable, and counseling a young sports careerist who's crazy enough to want to go into it.
Want to do what you've been doing?
Hopefully better, but yeah.
Yeah, you've had a fun time, though. I don't think you'd change anything, would you?
I would live my life the same way.
There
I'm
you go.
100 times sober.
There you go.
Isn't that great? That's a great way to live life.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to finish this bad
Okay.
boy up.
All right.
Let me save our file here. I just did. Open up our new one. We're going to make this a quick one here, and then we're going to sign off. And away we go. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. Last time for today, I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Bruce McGowan. We get to the third commercial break. We asked this trivia question. What test was introduced in the 1968 Olympics in Mexico City?
I'm going to let Andy answer that. I think I know, but Andy, go ahead. Give it a shot.
I'm going with some level of gender.
Yes!
There you go.
It, you know, a lot of people would think steroids,
No.
but no, it was a sex test.
Well, you remember the East German women, they were taking an inordinate number of testosterone-laced drugs. And they,
I mean, the East German men that were masturbating at the
That's
German
right.
women.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Very
boy.
good, Andy. I like that. Okay, so Andy, we got just a quick 1 minute. We
Right.
want to finish up something?
So the A's are the last team standing, though, Andy, in Oakland. And I agree with you.
I think the way that this ends up, I believe that the Raiders are going to be in Oakland for a bit longer. I believe the A's are going to build a ballpark either on the Coliseum site or someplace close, and they're going to have the development rights. And if I were Mark Davis, which I'm not, I would do a retrofit to the existing Oakland Coliseum, name it Al Davis Stadium, for $400 or $500 million, which they could support, which would keep the team in Oakland forever, and the A's could build a new baseball stadium on the Coliseum site, even though Lou Wolf said there's not enough parking. Bruce and Edward, you know there's more than enough parking space in and around the Coliseum, and 2 of these 3 teams could stay in Oakland forever. That's what I hope happens.
All right, Andy Dolich, thank you so much for joining us here on Sports Econ 101. We're going to cut to our thoughts for the day. Now, when I was 40, my doctor advised me that a man in his 40s shouldn't play tennis. So I heeded his advice and carefully, and I waited until I reached 50 to start again. Not bad, huh? And Robin Williams said, cricket is baseball on Valium.
I like that.
All right,
That's good.
tune in next week to Sports Econ 101. We're going to be discussing sports topics from a business perspective, giving away more free vacations for answering sports trivia questions. Thanks for listening. On behalf of our team, I'm your host, Edward Brown. We'll see you next week.
And Andy, we'll see you next week. Good night, America.
Gentlemen.
All right.
Great. Thank you, Andy.
Thanks, Andy.
Appreciate it.
Well, thanks. Where do I go on my vacation? Is it Tahiti, Bora Bora, or Alviso?
I like Alviso.
Alviso.
Alviso sounds good to me.
Okay, send me that itinerary as soon as